Hey, it's Chuck Carstensen, Remax Results, and another live video. Again, not at a house today. Last night I was on my front porch. Tonight I am in the office, and I thought, I wanted to speak a little bit about a day in the life of the realtor. So as I'm in the office, I'm going to bounce around a little bit so you just don't have to stare at the copy machine in the back. A real estate day is never the same, but it can be structured similar. I tend to have a little bit of a flexible schedule, meaning on a given day I like to prospect, which is make calls. For example, the day I called expired and canceled listings. Those are listings that are on the market that came off the market. And that's what I did this morning. So literally a day for me, if I break down just today, was I got up, worked out, did a little follow-up, emailed my team, let them know what I was up to today. They got back to me, let me know what they were up to, and then I went into making some follow-up. I actually think I put in an offer for somebody that I showed a property to last night. Then I went into doing some follow-up and making some calls, and then I had a couple closings, one over in Princeton, one down in Bloomington. So the Princeton to Bloomington closing, totally obviously a long distance. In between, then I stopped at a listing I had closed on Friday and grabbed my lockbox. And the closing in Princeton was fine. The seller's like, hey, this was super smooth. So that's always a good thing when you have a seller and the closing went super smooth. And then the closing in Bloomington, my sellers had pre-signed. That was supposed to close 3 weeks ago. That was a rough one. That was one of my, roughest transactions I've had. It was like, oh, thank God it's finally done. And the other agent commented about it too. I'm like, okay, we can take off the boxing gloves now. We're done. So from the beginning on that one, I knew it was going to be a tough ride. I told my clients. We tried to actually, as the sellers, cancel it, and the buyers wouldn't cancel it, which is pretty strange. That normally doesn't happen. But anyway, long story short, that closed. So that takes us to about 2 o'clock. On some of the calls I made this morning, I set an appointment to stop by for sale by owner property. So I stopped by that property in Blaine and back home to quickly sign one more thing for the closing that we had at 1 o'clock. Got to back off, had to run home, and my wife, even though she never tells me this, like I can sort of kind of like 10% read her mind. My stepdaughter's dad's in Wisconsin, and my wife had obviously arranged to pick her up, and she never tells me, but she wanted me to ride to Hudson. So I went home and rode with her and rode back. So I got some stuff to do yet. So now I'm back in the office to get ready for a listing tomorrow, and I've got a few appointments tomorrow, so I've got to get it ready for a couple of them. So if you've ever wondered a day in the life of a realtor, maybe that sounds like super boring or super exciting. I mean, it's always good when you have a couple closings and you got listings to prepare for, and you have people you called, and some of the people get back to you. And real estate, though, I'm giving you a little taste of like what a day can be. That's not all the days are the same, but I don't think it's what people think it is. Hey, I could get into real estate. It's super easy and flexible. I can set my own hours. I can, but normally my own hours are super long hours. And some days, I don't even like this word anymore because I think I use it in my mind too much. They can be a grind. And obviously Stacy, Michelle, Esther, people who watch these videos a lot know I have a team, and they are all super awesome and doing great, and I feel like it's an obligation for me to make sure I'm putting forth the most effort to make sure I'm having enough business for them, for myself, to help more people. And so that means sometimes I'm here late at the office and keep working away. So I think the positive to that, sometimes there's teams that get so big that you can't even talk to the team leader, or you got people who aren't too plugged in, or you get transferred 10 times to talk about a property. At least when you reach out to the Carstensen team, talk to the people you need to talk to, and we're super on top of things. So that's the day in the life of a realtor, at least today. That's how that was. Tomorrow, something a little bit different, and sometimes grueling, sometimes fun, sometimes refreshing. We have a lot of good clients and a lot of great people we've worked with in the past and are working with now, so that makes it a little bit easier and better. And we have good friends and fans on Facebook. That helps too. So that's the day in the life of the realtor. I don't know if you have questions on how that really is. You can certainly reach out to us. Otherwise, have a blessed night.